Hello and welcome to IBTM World 2019 here on day 2 in Barcelona. We've just finished up the Thinking Head Speaker Showcase and we'll be talking to a couple of speakers now to get their thoughts and insights on the sessions they've just delivered. First up, we'll be hearing from Margarita Mayo, who is the Professor of Leadership at the IE Business School. Okay. Hi there, Margarita, and thank you for joining us today.
My pleasure.
We had a wonderful session from you just now on the 9 different skills a successful leader needs to have. How about you tell us a bit about those skills and your 3 favorite ones?
Okay, yes, what I talk about is that we live in a very changing world with a lot of disruption, and disruption is redefining leadership. So authenticity is the best antidote to this crisis of confidence in leadership. So there are 3 skills that authentic leaders I discovered that they do. One thing is that they follow their heart. They have passion for results. They are humble leaders, and they are willing to share their own life stories with other people. So that's what I call the heart. The second is that they make learning a habit. They learn. They don't stay the same. Actually, authenticity and change go hand in hand. So authentic leaders, they have a growth mindset, and they see authenticity as a work in progress. So when you see yourself as a work in progress, there is always room for improvement. And the last one is the harmony, because it's not only just to be true to yourself, but also be true to others. So how you are able to align your own interest with the interest of others and serve as an example, walk the talk, create a sense of community, and thinking of future generations, the legacy.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much. And during your session, you gave us a few examples of some of the real-life situations you've seen those authentic leaders. Would you mind telling us about one of them?
Yeah, sure. There is one that I always share because I think I like to talk about the woman who left Chanel for love. And I said love for her own ideas, for her values. And that's Hiroko Samehima. She's from Japan, and then she was working for Chanel, like a dream job for any designer. But what happened is that it didn't fit her own values, that she felt that she wanted to do something called slow fashion. So she didn't like mass production. She started her own business, and with a brand leather bag. And the best leather is in Ethiopia. So her values took her to Ethiopia, from Japan to Ethiopia, and the way she motivated and inspired people, it was with her passion, and it was all a success. She was on TV, she became a celebrity, all her products are sold out, and in Japan all her employees are pro bono, they are volunteers. So that's the magic of authenticity.
Well, how brilliant. That's a great story to have to share. And I hear that you've got a book that you've got all of these different skills in that you're able to use to show how people need to develop their leadership. Would you like to say anything about your book for our listeners to hear?
Yes, sure, thank you. Yes, my book, I wrote a book last year. It's called Yours Truly, Staying Authentic in Leadership and Life. It's published by Bloomsbury. And I'm very happy that it won one of the best business books last year in the United Kingdom. And this is about the stories of these authentic leaders that I have interviewed from around the world. And it comes with 9 big recommendations, the 9 skills every successful leader has to develop in this changing world. So the book is on Amazon, and I wanted to communicate all the scientific evidence and the testimony of these leaders, so it could help other people, other leaders to deal with the leadership challenges that we are facing today.
Well, brilliant. Thank you very much for talking us today. It's been wonderful seeing you here. I know you've got to rush away for a flight now, So we'll leave it there. But thank you for joining us on our Facebook Live.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you very much for having me.
Hi there. So if you're joining us just now, we're talking to some of the speakers from the Thinking Head Speaker Showcase this morning. We'll be talking now to Oshin Lunny, who is our MC from the day. So we'll just have a chat with him about how he's found the sessions.
Hey,
Hi,
Laura.
Oshin.
Hey.
How are you doing?
Good.
And how did you find the sessions? Was it fun to MC?
Oh, 100%. I mean, such an inspiring lineup of speakers put together by Thinking Heads, talking about everything from leadership to turning inspiration into innovation to applying neuroscience to business. It was a fantastic cross-section of the kind of great speakers you can have at your event, curated by Thinking Heads. And it was really a kind of showcase in the power of having keynote and showcase speakers at your event to bring the crowd together, to inspire them, to make them think differently, and really to give them something, in addition to like a great hospitality and a great venue, having a brilliant keynote speaker and a good MC at your event can make the difference between, something people are talking about for weeks and something that people just want to forget.
Absolutely. And you're quite an experienced MC. You've done a lot of different sessions. What are your favourite things from the sessions? What are your takeaways?
Oh, well, do you know what? I really liked, we had, on our last session, we all had a game of thumb war with our eyes closed. And I thought, what a great icebreaker for a conference to get, you can imagine a venue of like 5,000 people, all a bit, stiff and, they've just arrived there and they're, haven't really got into the whole networking thing. Mariano encouraged people to have this game of thumb war with their eyes closed, and I thought, what a fantastic icebreaker, absolutely brilliant. And I was also very inspired by Lakshman's story, and he's the CEO and founder of Wordly, which is the technology used in real time to translate. It uses AI to translate in real time what people are saying on stage to 16 languages, both in audio and in text. So imagine booking Lakshman for your event. Not only, say if it's a tech event, he's a brilliant example of an entrepreneur who's come out of a big tech company and really gone out on his own and established a really successful global company. Not only do you have that inspiration on stage, you also have the technology translating what he's saying to 16 languages in real time. So it was a fantastic look at the kind of things you can do with speakers at conferences that are really interesting.
Absolutely. And Lakshman, incidentally, was the winner of our 2019 Tech Watch Award Judge's Choice yesterday. It was announced by Corbin Ball and David Thompson on our Accelerate stage yesterday evening. And finally, Ocean, how have you found IBTM World at the moment? You were here yesterday. Did you have a look around?
I certainly did. I love conferences because for me it's a way to meet people from all over the world, to share ideas, to come up with new ideas together, and to really help build a global family around various events. So it's a real privilege to be here on behalf of Thinking Heads at the conferences, the conference of conferences. And it's fascinating to meet people from all over the world. And of course, some of the stands here have magnificent delicacies from places I've never even been. So there's a bit of a personal benefit to that. But, I'm here for the networking. I'm here to get inspired. And IBTM World so far has been amazing.
Well, brilliant. And you'll have to stick around for our networking hour. We've got the best of both worlds there, networking and food.
Sign me up. Take my money.
Well, thank you very much for joining us. It was great to chat to you. And yeah, I'll leave you to it.
Okay,
thank you. Hi there. If you're just joining us, we're here talking to some of our Thinking Heads Speaker Showcase stars. We're just now going to have a chat to Jaime Alguersuari, who is a music producer and DJ, and talking about personal reinvention.
Hello.
Hi there, Jaime.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
Very good, thank you.
Brilliant. So you just did a talk on personal reinvention as you changed your career from Formula One driver to DJ. Would you like to tell the audience who didn't see it a little bit more?
Well, basically, we can all do this actually. I mean, I based all my life to racing, to become a race car driver, and one day I just said that my love for motorsport was over, and it wasn't as the day I started, and it just changed. It was a new chapter for my life. It can happen to everyone. Everyone is capable of reinventing themselves to become to have another career somewhere else. If you want to become a chef, superstar chef, of course, or a lawyer, or a very good lawyer, it's a matter of you taking this decision and committing to the fullest to that, of course.
Absolutely. And what sort of keynote would you give to people who are thinking about reinventing themselves? What would you tell them to do?
I would start asking the question of if we know well each other, right? First of all, you need to love yourself. I don't think you can take a decision like that or changing your life completely if you're not really sure about what you're doing. So first of all, you have to do an introspective work on yourself. I feel like the only way to do something and get it into a bigger spot is by loving yourself, being determined with what you're doing, but of course knowing who you are. And many of us think that we know ourselves very well, but probably we don't. So it's the first keynote I would say, or at least that has worked for me, is to ask, who am I, what do I want to do with my life, and where do I want to go? So that's the key elements to start a new business, to become an entrepreneur and to be your own manager, I guess.
Brilliant. And you're working in music now. So what was the decision that took you towards that?
Love. I mean, I love music. I started making music while I was racing, and I got my first record signed in like 2012. Then in 2015, I got signed into a better music label in my underground scene, and I kind of asked myself what would happen if I would have the time, the 100% of my time, based on in the studio and making music. So of course you could have a better option and more probability to make more music and to get better music. So this is when I decided to stop racing, because I felt that it was not really fulfilling my life. I was in Formula One, I scored 31 points, it was all great, it was a great ride, but I wanted something fresh, something new, something where I could have a new challenge, because I do believe life, it's all about challenges. Life wouldn't make any sense if it's not challenging, and that was it.
Wonderful. And just finally, how do you think people can apply that same mentality to the events industry? Do you think people here can reinvent themselves in the same way?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. I think everyone can do great things, more than what we are capable of thinking. I think we have all huge potential. It's just a matter of knowing where that potential is and believing and trusting in yourself. But I do believe everyone in this world, if Steve Jobs was a genius, but we knew so far that he didn't, he was not born in the moon or in another planet, he was born in the world and has two hands, a heart and a thinking head. We can all do that. So that's the mentality. Even if we don't reach anywhere, it's just the mindset of moving forward and pushing yourself forward and beyond.
Absolutely. Well, brilliant. Thank you very much for joining us and giving us your time. Wonderful. So that was Jamie Alguersuari, one of our 3 Thinking Head Speaker Showcase speakers. And we're here at IBTM World. We're here on day 2, and we've got a whole day of networking and fun and education here left, and we'll have another one tomorrow. Thank you very much for watching.